Welcome to the Information's Deep Dive webinar series. Today's webinar will be on predicting movement disorders using nonverbals. The presenter for today's webinar is Dr. Conrad Tucker.
So today we're going to be looking at some novel ways to predict disorders using non-wearable sensors. Part of this overarching research domain, it touches the concept of systems emergence. So do systems, and in this case, patient exhibit characteristics that make that distinguishable from all individual in the population. And so why do we want to look at movement data as a source of predicting movement disorder? There's a piece of work that shows when you look at human communication as a whole, more than 85% pertain to non-verbal communication. And specifically relating to Parkinson's disease, which would be the focus of system talk, there are 1 million people affected with Parkinson's disease, just with approximately 60,000 each year. There's medication and therapy to slow down the disease, but there are no cure yet. And so, why predicting early disease relevant to in transforming healthcare? Well, on average, $25,000 per year per patient to treat this disease. So the sooner that we can identify deficiencies, as you can see here at the top graph here, you see what happens, and so there's a decrease in the levels in an individual with Parkinson's disease. Identifying the earlier, medication can be prescribed to the effects of the dopamine loss. And the hypothesis that in this research is that there is a statistically significant difference in the patterns between Parkinson's disease patients when they are on their and so non-testing this hypothesis will lead to novel determine not a patient is being adherent to a specific patient protocol. One is when it comes to patient improvement over time is actually constantly taking, which is a significant problem in the health domain. So the question is, plan on doing this? Well, there are 2 domains of and so you can think of wearables where you have attached to a particular patient and then monitor their biomarker behaviors in real time. In terms of the precision of these systems, however, some of the challenges are scalability. If you measure someone who walks, for example, you would have to attach multiple sensors at different areas. Constraints. Each of the to implement on a national scale of, let's say, 1 million Parkinson's patients. And so we wanted to investigate our non-wearable approach, capture types of data more in a less invasive manner. And this is by employing machine techniques for capturing, coupled with algorithms for making sense of that data and testing hypotheses. So this is a commercially available off-the-shelf sensor. So the individual on the left, as you can see, still overlay on their and the red points that you see there, XYZ coordinates for a particular joint code. So for the hand, you can dot there would be an X, Y, and Z coordinate that is so that the sensor knows where exactly the hand is in space at a particular time. So data is captured at 1 bit every 33 milliseconds, which enhances a big data problem. This in practice, you can see the individual walking towards us. One of the benefits of this, as you can see on the where we have data being captured, is the patient's privacy. Because it would be very difficult to tell who that individual was, right, just based on their skeletal data. So data that we then use and capture for each individual patient when medication and they are off their medication. And so once again, the hypothesis is there is a difference in the gait pattern. Individual is on and off medication. Generate a mathematical model that presents this. Then scale. And so this can be seen as a proxy system for healthcare decision makers that can inform an individual's patient when the complications are resulting from a lack of medication adherence or observing how certain drugs behave in the body. So the methodology is to first acquire sensor data, which you see here in step 1. The patient towards the sensor, and as walked, the sensor will capture 20 locations from the head all the way down to the foot node, which are mapped step 2, which is raw XZ coordinate data nodes. And we then data mine model using data from when the patient is on their medication and when the patient is off their medication. And so this binary classification problem where we're trying whether or not there's features such as the velocity of the hand that indicators of when someone is on their medication versus off. And so as you can see on the left is when to a health decision maker where they where it is potentially flagged if they are non-adherent to their medication, in which point the healthcare decision maker can make decisions. So this is an example of close nodes that are acquired, and is considered a feature, and each of these has a variety data feature. So when we look at all these features in the position acceleration and also ratios, you get over 1,000 features. And so this high-dimensional feature space and also depending on the number of samples you take of the patients can also be a high-dimensional problem. And so over 1 million individuals, for example, this would inherently become a big data problem where you have constantly streaming data coming in, and you then get the temporal variations in this data. And so individuals data come in, and we employ data mining text-generated model that we can use as a decision support system to determine what would form or help individuals when someone is off or on vacations. So this is out of results example. You can see position is less than 1.2 meters relative to the datum. In the case datum is a sensor, and elbow position is X less than 9, then they are on their medication. Versus if greater than 0.29 and the elbow Y position is greater than 1.4, then they are off their medication. And so with a decision model like this, researchers can understand when a patient is on versus off their medication. Preliminary results, we just published a paper on this, a journal paper that will to successfully classify patients better than others. And we're just showing the best performance and the worst performance. Two different, so patient 162, using several different algorithms and different ways. For example, if we're walking front towards a sensor, or way sensor to the right or left, accuracy and decision of whether or not that is indeed character of them being off their medication. For the worst performing subject, so interesting because they're on medication when they come in, they're taken off their medication, and performance is attributed to the impact medication on the patient. So if it is very difficult to defer when is on versus off their medication, hypothesis that we explore further is what effect of the medication does it gait behavior when they are off, as most patient 162, for example. Many different hypotheses moving forward that we would like to investigate further, but preliminary results testing the validity of the hypothesis, accuracy of different data algorithms. These references, a complete set of references, can be found in the paper, and we watch funding from the Concept of Symmetry, and this is a larger initiative, of course, with my colleagues, Dr. Conrad here in IA, Shomei Huang, who is a Department of at Hershey Medical Center, Dr. Lewis, also at Hershey Medical Center, and the graduate students that worked on this paper are at Park and Nicholas. And with that, thank you for listening. If you have any further questions, visit our website at the bottom of this. This is the institute that we use /data. Thank you.